Obviously, I'm not.
Yeah, we got that impression.
Can we talk about it?
Can't be that bad.
Oh, no, it's not that bad because nobody came on to you. Nobody's hands were all over you, were they?
What are you talking about?
Who, Logan?
Well, come now, Elizabeth. Men must make passes at you all the time.
You're my professor.
Miss Logan, I will listen to no further complaints.
Professor Kingsfield, I'm telling you the truth. Professor Howard changed my grade because I refused to comply with his wishes.
The study of law is something new and unfamiliar to most of you, unlike any other schooling that you have ever known before.
First years are hard years, much more than we know. With good friends to love us, we'll feel every blow. Stay open to all things, unknown and new. And one day, we'll all say, hey, look, we've gone through the first year.
You teach yourselves the law, but I train your minds. You come in here with a skull full of mush, and if you survive, you leave thinking like a lawyer.
Hart! You're a bartender. You're supposed to serve the beer, not drink it. I was a bartender, Ernie. It's 9 o'clock. I'm now a customer. Look, Hart, I need you. This is supposed to be my slow night. What is this, a kind of holiday or something? Sort of. We had a big exam in Torts today. Everybody's kind of celebrating. Hart, I need you. But, Ernie, I'm entitled to a little celebration, too. Okay. Take 15 minutes, celebrate your head off, and then come back to work. 30. 20. It's my final offer.
Talking to the king of torts, gentlemen. You are gazing at a man about to get an A.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Believe what?
Our expert in torts here claims he got an A.
Well, Professor Howard's a nice guy, but he's a tough grader.
I'm an optimist.
Well, hey, where's Logan?
Oh, she got a call from Howard. Had to meet with him.
Now? It's 9 o'clock.
Howard has a reputation for burning the midnight oil.
You don't suppose Logan had some problem on the exam, do you?
Me, maybe. Straight A, Logan, never.
A B? There must be some mistake.
Yeah, I'm afraid not, Miss Logan. That's why I asked you here for this meeting. I've always considered you one of my top 1Ls. See you slide this way.
But I don't understand it.
Well, of course, it isn't really that bad, is it? Most students would be very grateful for a B.
But I was sure that I got an A.
Grades are very important to you, aren't they?
Name a student that ever made law review or clerked for the Supreme Court without getting A's.
Supreme Court. Well, you're aiming very high.
Yes, I am. I'm capable of it.
All right, then. In that case, we're going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, study harder.
Yes, naturally. I would like to make a suggestion to you. I think you need someone to, well, get you organized. Sort of focus your attention. You have beautiful hair. It's nice and natural. Yeah, it's refreshing change from the wild, curly fashions these days. Well, I'm sure you know that I do take a deep and personal interest in my students, and particularly the more promising ones. I'd like very much to help you. It is Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, Jennifer. I'm afraid I'll be a while. No, I'm still grading test papers. I'm sorry about that. There's nothing much I can do about it. Yes. Yes, I'll be home as soon as I can. What? Well, having been in law review myself, I know the kind of student they're looking for. And I think I can show you some shortcuts. I think I can point out what's really important to them. You have aim, you have drive, you have potential. I'd like to help you develop that. Of course, it will take a lot of work, late hours. Well, I think I can clear my evenings after my last student conference.
You mean here in your office?
I don't think we'd accomplish very much in a noisy dorm, do you? No, we'll be more comfortable here. But I want to tell you, right now, it will mean a lot of work. It will mean time. It will mean effort. It will mean cooperation on your part. But if you really work with me, I can promise you top grades from now on. You will come out of my class with the A that you want. Understand?
I certainly do. You're about as subtle as a brick.
I beg your pardon?
You don't want to study law. You want to have an affair.
Elizabeth?
I could feel great right now if it wasn't for Kingsfield tomorrow morning.
Look how loaded this meeting went.
Logan?
Hey, Green. Green, have you seen Logan?
Yeah, she came in a couple hours ago.
Hard. Maybe she's asleep.
Yeah, let's go.
You know I take a personal interest in my students, Charles. For their sakes, I've graded the examinations and posted the results right away. And when I was a student, the suspense used to drive me crazy.
Suspense is good for the soul, for a lawyer at any rate. The hours you keep are no good for the body, Doyle.
Sounds to me like you've been talking to Jennifer.
Well, did talk to her the other evening at the Dean's, yes.
She complained I've been working almost every night.
She mentioned it.
Jennifer never quite understood the hours we have to give to the students.
You should save some for yourself.
I do my best.
Good morning, Miss Logan.
Good morning, Professor Kingsfield.
Miss Logan.
Hey, Logan. Hey, I stopped by your room this morning. You must have left pretty early.
Yeah, I went for a walk without my jacket. It's freezing. I did have some thinking to do.
Anything wrong? Something to do with your meeting last night with Professor Howard?
Hart, do you believe I got a B on that exam?
A P? Oh, that's not like you.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, it's not the end of the world.
No. It's not just the grade. It was... Come on, we're going to be late for class.
Hey, come on, our grades are posted.
Come on, Logan.
I told you, I know my grade.
Yeah, I got a B. I'm a genius. I didn't even know it.
The king of torts is dethroned. Only a B.
You do any better for it?
What did I get?
An A. What else is new?
Hey, take a look at this. Who'd ever have thought Logan would pull a grade like that?
Told me she got a B. At least that's what she said. Logan, you must have made a mistake.
What do you mean?
I just saw the grades. It wasn't a B. You got a C.
A C? That's impossible. He told me that I got a B.
I'm sorry, Logan. I'll talk to you after class.
If the parties to an agreement fail to set time for performance and give no indication of their intent in this regard, the courts generally imply that the contract was to be performed within a reasonable time of the date of acceptance. Now, what is a reasonable time? Miss Logan? Miss Logan, I asked you a question. Reasonable?
I don't know, sir.
May I ask why you do not know, Miss Logan?
I'm sorry, Professor Kingsfield.
Miss Logan? Mr. Hart, will you remain in your place? Perhaps you can supply the answer to our question. Reasonable.
That usually depends on the custom and usage in the community or prior dealings between the parties.
Quite right. You may sit down, Mr. Hart.
Do you have an appointment? No, I don't. Just tell the professor I'd like to see him. My name is Logan.
Well, I don't think he has the time. Professor, there's a Miss Logan wishes to see you. I told her you didn't... Oh, yes, sir.
What can I do for you, Elizabeth?
You told me I got a B on my examination. And then this morning I find out I got a C. Now, do you care to explain that little alteration?
After you left last night, I decided to review your examination. I was hoping to raise your grade a little. I'm sorry, but now I realize you need more help than I thought.
You know, ever since I left here last night, I've been trying to convince myself that it's all in my imagination. That you didn't make a pass at me.
Well, come now, Elizabeth. Men must make passes at you all the time.
These circumstances are a little different. You're my professor.
That makes me no less a man.
So in other words, if I'm not interested in you as a man, I just flunk out of your course?
All I'm trying to do is help you.
Well, I'm sure Dean Rutherford will be very interested in your methods.
I am a member of this faculty. And you are a 1L who unfortunately scored badly on my examination and is naturally upset. Now, I'm sure the dean will take that into consideration. On the other hand, I can still arrange a conference between us. Anytime you like.
Well, don't hold your breath.
Logan's 20 minutes late. She knew we scheduled this session.
She'll be here.
I think she's flipping out.
How would you feel if you pulled a C?
I might consider suicide, but I'd never walk out of Kingsfield's class.
It's got to be more than the grade. Remember I said that Professor Howard had told her she got a B, not a C? Well, she is.
Hey, Logan? What's eating her?
She is flipping out.
Why?
Logan?
Hart, will you leave me alone?
What is it?
Nothing. It's something personal, and I'd appreciate it if you just leave me alone. Now, what is this? A study group meeting all of a sudden?
Well, it was supposed to be.
Well, it seems like you've killed that plan.
Are you all right, Elizabeth?
Obviously, I'm not.
We got that impression.
Can we talk about it?
Can't be that bad.
Oh, it's not that bad for you. Nobody came on to you. Nobody's hands were on you, were they?
Who, Logan?
Professor Howard.
Howard?
Doyle Howard, that highly respected professor of torts, that devoted friend to all the students. Well, he's friendly, all right.
I don't believe it.
Are you sure? I mean, couldn't it just be...
What, my imagination? Well, that's just perfect, Belle, and that's precisely why I didn't want to tell you.
That's not what I meant.
That's why I gave you the C.
He dropped me down from a B, and I deserved an A. And I can still have one. All I have to do is meet him one night late alone in his office for a conference.
Stop it, Logan.
Well, I'm so angry I could strangle him.
You know, I don't blame you.
And then I went to the dean, and he wasn't in his office, but I'm going to make an issue out of this.
Now, Liz, remember, Howard is a respected professor.
I don't care if he can walk on water, Ford.
You gotta watch your step on this.
He's blackmailing me.
Yeah, but Logan, you have to play this thing carefully. I mean, you have to consider every angle. We have to think of a way to handle this right.
What do you mean, we?
I mean, we, all of us.
We're your friends, Liz.
We got a stake in it, too.
Oh, I appreciate that. But I want to try to handle it by myself.
Okay. Okay, but just don't do anything until you've thought about it carefully, all right?
All right.
All right. As we've been studying for the past couple of weeks in the area of intentional torts, the word intent has a very significant meaning. As it's been developed from the early English and the King's Writ, the law defines it in terms of any result that invades the interest of another party in a way that the law will not permit. All right? Let's have some examples. Miss Hutton, we haven't heard from you in a long time.
Intent.
That's right. Within our definitions.
Well, there are a lot of good intentions, of course. But if somebody gets hurt...
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Now, a person may not always mean what he says or what he does. But somehow, if it goes wrong, then...
Yes, as in a practical joke.
Yes. Yes. A person yanks a chair when somebody else is going to sit down, and that person is hurt. Now, it may not have been done on purpose, but he is liable.
Right, that's very good, Miss Hutton. Let's have a more subtle example. Miss Logan?
I think this will satisfy you, sir. The intent of a person in a superior position to demand certain specific favors from another person in a subordinate position, when the particular conditions haven't been spelled out in advance, is unfair and means clearly the intent is subject to action.
Well, it may be clear to you, Miss Logan. Frankly, it mystifies me. I think you're confusing torts with contracts. You better check with Professor Kingsfield on that. All right, let's go on. We can agree, then, that intent is much broader than a simple desire to a certain physical result. It encompasses a wide range of actions.
We're going to help you whether you want us to or not.
May result in certain damage, or alleged damage.
So where's all this fabulous help I'm supposed to be getting?
We're thinking.
Well, I can really hear the gears grinding.
Logan, please. Look, we know how you feel, but don't take it out on us.
Sorry.
One thing's certain. You cannot go to the dean.
Why not?
Oh, Liz, your word against Howard's?
But he just might listen to me.
Sure he will, and then he'll usher you right out the door.
Well, then I'll go to the newspaper and spread it all over the campus.
And buy yourself a great big lawsuit. Slander, defamation.
But it's the truth. It happened to me.
That doesn't mean you can prove it, Liz.
Well, thanks for all the bright ideas, fellas.
Sit down.
Not unless you can offer me a worthwhile solution.
Well, I think I can. Now, Belle's right. The problem is we have no evidence. We need corroboration.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to get that? I mean, take pictures through his window, hide under his couch?
With all due respect, Logan, you gotta figure you're not the first student that Howard's hit on.
Anderson, you're absolutely right.
Sure.
Howard's been here 15 years at least. There have to be others.
Right, so we find them. We get him to back up Logan. Then you go to the dean with your case. He has to listen to you.
You really think there might be others?
I'm sure of it.
So how do we find them?
Do I have to do all the thinking around here?
Yeah, and I heard Professor Howard likes to help his students.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the girls especially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he takes a personal interest.
Belle, what are you talking about?
Nothing.
I have really enjoyed the classes in torts. I think Howard is one of the best professors in this school.
He certainly is.
And his private conferences. There's nothing like them. Don't you agree?
I wouldn't know. I've never had one.
Oh. Well, I guess he didn't think you needed his help.
I don't. I've got an A in the class.
You can talk plainer than that, Hart.
All right, Gwen. Has Professor Howard ever made a pass at you?
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious.
Well, what's a pass? Okay, he kidded around with me once or twice, but I fielded it. No big deal.
No, lead us to Logan.
Hart, there was a girl I knew last year, Sinclair, a 1L. She swore Howard came on with her, and she made waves.
And?
Well, a funny thing happened. Her grades started going down in all her classes.
All her classes? Are you trying to tell me there are other professors on this campus?
Nothing like that. But somebody, had to be Howard, was spreading the word that she was a troublemaker, that she was the one that was trying to come on to him for the good grades. So who do you think the other professors believed?
Figures. But I'm sure she'd be willing to help Logan.
Hart. She left school before the end of the term. She never came back.
I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I couldn't get one girl to talk to me.
It's you.
Well, I didn't have much luck either. I spoke to Gwen. She told me some things, but nothing that really helps.
I still got one prospect. Amelia Hutton. 1L in Howard's class.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her. Very foxy.
Till a couple of months ago, she had regular conferences with Howard. At least once a week, and always at night. I counted at least 6 in his appointment book.
How'd you get your hands on that?
It's open on the secretary's desk. Students just sign in when they want to see Howard.
6 appointments? Miss Hutton must have needed a lot of help.
Make it a tall one, Hart. Playing detective raises a thirst.
How'd you do, Ford?
Howard's morals are the best kept secret on campus. They're gonna stay that way.
I guess we're just whistling in a windstorm.
Well, it doesn't make any difference now anyhow.
What do you mean by that?
I saw Logan back at the dorm. She asked how we were doing, so I told her.
So?
She hit the ceiling. She said she knew it wouldn't work and she was gonna handle it on her own.
So at least the dean's still out of town.
But not Kingsfield.
And there is nothing more you wish to add, Miss Logan?
I've told you everything, Professor Kingsfield.
Miss Logan, you are over 21. And what you've outlined to me is in the nature of a personal problem, whether it involves your relationship with another student, an outsider, or a member of the faculty. There are proper channels designed to resolve these difficulties. The dean and his assistant for student affairs will listen to your plea.
But, sir, you're chairman of the faculty disciplinary committee.
And in that capacity, you are asking me to take some action.
I demand it.
Demand? Miss Logan, I've taught at the school for over a quarter of a century. I've had the honor and privilege of working with many learned, distinguished men. And Professor Howard is one of them.
Sir, I don't deny his ability as a teacher.
I have also had the distasteful task of coping with highly emotional students, women and men, who are so disturbed, so afraid of failure, that they will say and do anything to prevent it.
Are you saying that I'm disturbed?
I am suggesting that you may, for the moment, have lost control of yourself.
Professor!
For the first time in your career with us, you've received a low grade. And now you're striking back like a hysterical child, heedless of the consequences to Professor Howard.
Professor Kingsfield, I'm a victim, and other women in the school may be as well.
Then where are the others, Miss Logan?
I don't know.
Why haven't they come forward?
Maybe they're afraid.
Or rational, perhaps? Able to distinguish between a casual remark and a sexual blackmail?
Professor Kingsfield, I'm telling you the truth. Professor Howard changed my grade when I refused to comply with his wishes.
Miss Logan, I will listen to no further complaints unless they are accompanied by proof positive and overwhelming. Good day, Miss Logan. Mrs. Nottingham, will you please ask Professor Howard if he'll join me at the club for cocktails later this afternoon? Thank you.
Amelia? Hi. Tom Anderson. Torts, Professor Howard's class. Over to the right, one row down.
Sure.
I was wondering, maybe we could get together tonight.
I'm busy. Sorry.
Maybe tomorrow.
No, I'm still busy, but thanks.
Who's keeping you so busy? Professor Howard again?
What's that supposed to mean?
He used to give you a lot of, special tutoring, didn't he?
What do you want?
Information. Which I can guess at already. Confirmation, which you can give to Professor Kingsfield.
What's your name?
Anderson.
Anderson. Go to hell.
I don't think we'll ever resolve the differences in our teaching methods, Charles.
I'm not sure that we should.
Let me ask you this. They tell me that the 1L's LSAT scores were higher this year than ever before. Do you find their classroom performance better than in previous years?
It's never that simple, Doyle. There are always personal and emotional elements involved. You know that.
Certainly are. Waiter, again, please. Charles?
No, thank you. I have a dinner engagement.
Sounds better than a cold sandwich over my desk.
That's another area where we differ. Our work habits. For years, excluding emergencies, I've left my office at 5 on the dot.
We set our watches by you, Charles. No, I don't know. Work seems to pile up on me somehow. Grading papers and conferences with students.
I know you spend a great deal of time with them, don't you?
I like to help them as much as I can. Unfortunately, this year, too many of them seem to need it.
You mean the 1Ls?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do tend to fly off in all directions.
Impulsive, aggressive, independent. Thank you.
Yeah, we do have a few that are unusually outspoken this year. There's Michelson, Framer. Hart can be argumentative sometimes. And of course, there's always the perennial, ardent feminist Miss Logan.
Yes, I have her too.
Independent is a good word to describe Miss Logan. You know, she reminds me of a 1L we had last year. What's her name? Oh, yes, Sinclair.
Sinclair? Yes, I remember her.
You certainly should. All the trouble she caused you, those wild accusations.
The girl was sick, Charles.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You compare her with Logan?
Oh, just in attitude, the same spirit, almost defiance. I hope she doesn't give you trouble.
I don't let any student give me trouble.
Really. You know, one of the things that concerns me about an institution like this is the tremendous psychological power wielded by a law professor. Every day, 150 pairs of eyes are focused upon him. 150 people know everything about him, the suits he wears, his smallest mannerisms, his likes and dislikes. And no wonder. He has enormous power. He can affect their lives, the grades he gives them. He can single out any student and embarrass him or her before their peers by asking an unanswerable question. And that fundamental imbalance is a dangerous thing, Doyle. Power corrupts. Absolute power, you know. Well, I must be going.
I'm sorry about that. We don't often have a chance to compare notes.
Well, we shall soon again. Good night.
Good night. Charles, when Mrs. Nottingham called me with your invitation, I got the impression that there was something particular you wanted to discuss with me.
We already have. Good night.
But Logan, I mean, did you really expect Kingsfield to just leap on his horse and go riding off to save the damsel in distress?
No, but I thought he might at least.
What's so funny?
I just got a mental picture of Kingsfield on a horse riding along in his jammers with a riding crop. It's ridiculous.
It's good to see you laugh.
If I don't laugh, I'll cry.
Hey, Logan, look, it's going to work out.
Logan!
Come in. Well, Anderson doesn't look like it's all going to work out.
Not if we count on the help of Amelia Hutton.
No luck at all?
Mm-mm. I know I hit a nerve. She didn't jump. Made me jump a little, as a matter of fact.
Well, we'll just keep looking until we find someone else.
No, she's our best bet. She's the one. If we could just get her to open up a little bit.
Maybe I should try to talk to her. She might be more receptive to confiding in another woman.
She might.
It's worth a try.
What have we got to lose?
Coming. Yeah.
Amelia, I'm Elizabeth Logan. We have some classes together. I'd like to talk to you if I could.
Yeah, sure, okay. Come on. But listen, it's going to have to be on the fly because I overslept this morning. I missed my first class, and I can't be late for crim law, okay?
Okay.
Listen, make yourself at home, sit down, and tell me what's on your mind.
Professor Howard's on my mind.
He seems to be a pretty popular subject all of a sudden.
Mm.
You know something, I bet you know a guy named Anderson.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's trying to help me.
All right, what about Professor Howard?
You used to have conferences with him.
So did a lot of students.
But you more than anyone. Alone, late in the evening.
That really isn't any of your business.
It wasn't any of my business till the other night, when I had a private conference with him.
Did you enjoy it?
I didn't stay. But I'm going to the dean about it, and to the faculty disciplinary committee.
You really can't be that naive.
No, I'm that angry. I'm not going to put up with it.
That's up to you. But you're not going to get very far.
I would if you'd help me. Come to the dean with me. Back me up.
Now you are kidding.
What are you afraid of?
I am not afraid of anything. And I don't have any reason to go to the dean.
Amelia, he used you.
No, Logan. I used him. It's like one of Kingsfield's contracts. I cooperated, and Howard gave me decent grades.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? Look, you've seen me in class. I'm not quite as secure as you are. I need the extra help.
Not that kind of help.
Don't play Mother Superior with me. I'm just doing what I have to do.
But look what you're doing to yourself, and this is just school.
A named school, Logan. That opens doors to big jobs and meeting important people. But first you have to graduate. Now, I'm just making sure of that. Look, Logan. Just think about it for a minute, okay? Compared to the trouble that you could have, it's really not that high a price to pay, is it?
Logan, I'm glad I ran into you. Did you see Amelia?
I saw her.
No luck?
Hart, I was so sure that she would understand and be willing to help.
Oh, my, sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, for her, maybe she's not so wrong. That is one way to get ahead around here.
You don't believe that?
No, but she does. And she's doing well in Howard's class, and I'm going to flunk out.
No, you won't.
Howard's a man who won't take no for an answer. I've wounded his ego. I'm worried, Hart.
Elizabeth, we'll figure this out. Look, I gotta go to work now. Can you meet me there in a little while for a drink and we'll keep talking about this?
Sure.
Hello? Elizabeth, telephone.
Oh, thanks. Hello? Yes, speaking.
This is Mrs. Connell in Professor Howard's office. The professor wishes to see you this evening. 9 o'clock. He says it's urgent. Miss Logan, did you hear what I said?
Yes. Yes, I heard you.
Then I can tell the professor to expect you. Miss Logan? Miss Logan?
Yes. Yes, I'll be there.
Don't forget it. I can't take that to Kingsfield.
But it shows that Amelia Hutton's grades suddenly improved during the time she was meeting with Professor Howard.
Maybe he was a good tutor.
You know that's not true.
Of course I do, but this doesn't prove anything. It's purely speculative and circumstantial.
Art's right. In all this time, there's nothing we can do to help Logan.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, isn't that Amelia Hutton?
Sure is.
She put something in her drink. Howard, I was only kidding.
This was on me.
Thanks. I'm waiting for somebody.
Listen, this will only take a second. You spoke to a friend of mine, Liz Logan.
Your second's up.
She asked for your help.
Yeah, and I told her that I wasn't interested. And I'm still not. Listen, her problem with Howard is none of my business, okay? So you leave, please.
Look, you're her only hope.
Listen, I'm sorry. I really am. But I've got my own problems. Can you understand that?
Amelia? Amelia Hutton?
Yeah.
I'm Fred Langhorne. Tom Bancroft was supposed to meet you here tonight.
Bancroft, the TA for criminal law?
Yeah, he couldn't make it tonight.
Wait a minute. Tom knows that I have an exam tomorrow.
It's okay. I can help. He said you wouldn't mind.
Oh, no, I don't think she does mind, unfortunately.
He gave me all the material you need.
Great. Let's have it.
Well, it's at my apartment. Tom said you wouldn't mind going over there to study.
Oh, great. Go ahead, Amelia. Tom Bancroft, friend Langhorne here. What's the difference?
Who are you?
Maybe somebody who cares about her as a person.
Great. Let's go, Amelia. Tom says you can't make it without help.
Maybe she doesn't need that kind of help anymore.
Maybe she can speak for herself. Are you coming, Amelia?
not.
That's good.
That's good, huh? Well, I'm not helping your friend either.
Amelia?
No, no!
Thanks a lot, pal.
Anytime, pal.
Come in. Miss Logan. I'm glad you could make it.
Your secretary said it was urgent.
Yes, I believe it is. Sit down. Please.
All right.
I've asked you here to clear up a misunderstanding.
About what?
About our meeting the other night. I'm almost embarrassed to bring it up, but we're both adults. I'm sure we can be open and direct with each other.
Yes, I think we can be.
Good. Frankly, Miss Logan, I think you misinterpreted my offer to help you with your studies. You put some unfortunate meanings to my words. Frankly, I don't think you heard me.
I heard you, Professor Howard. Especially the next day when I saw my grade.
I overreacted to what I thought was a mistake on your part. I apologize.
And was the dropping of my grade an overreaction, too?
That was an error. An error pure and simple. I've corrected it.
An A.
Well, that should make you happy. Onward and upward to the law review and Supreme Court.
I can't accept this now. I'd feel like an accomplice.
Well, Miss Logan...
The only reason I agreed to come here tonight was to try to straighten this out and to make you realize what you were doing to me.
It was a misunderstanding. I've told you that.
It was no misunderstanding. You're doing exactly the same thing now as you did the other night.
I am trying to be fair with you.
You're trying to buy me again, Professor. And I just don't sell.
I think you did the right thing with Howard, Liz. I'm proud of you.
Well, I tried to do the right thing. But I still wish there was something we could do about it.
Well, I took a desperate shot at it.
What do you mean?
Amelia Hutton came into the tavern last night. I tried to get her to change her mind.
No luck.
Well, for a moment there, just a moment, I thought I was beginning to get through to her. But no.
Well, thanks, Hart. Thanks for trying. I really do appreciate it.
Logan.
Hello, Amelia.
Could I talk to you?
Sure.
This charge that has been made against you by Miss Logan goes to the very heart of the integrity of this law school. And that is my only concern.
Charles, I cannot believe that you would take the word of one hysterical, over-imaginative girl against mine.
Not one, Doyle. A Miss Hutton has also come forward. And there is the memory of a student last year who made the same accusation, a Miss Sinclair. Look, Doyle, law professors don't necessarily lead sensible or tidy lives. But we are all of us expected to keep our academic work totally free of outside influence of any sort. And your picture is quite clear now.
Picture? What picture? I am not a philandering campus Casanova. You know better than that. For 15 years, I've been a fine teacher.
One of our best.
Well, that must count for something.
A great deal. But right now, what I see is a professor who favored one student over others, and punished another out of his personal feelings.
What are you saying?
I think you know.
All right. I'll go. I'll just take my sabbatical.
I'm sure the dean will consider that. I'm truly sorry, Doyle.
Do you know Bell's mad at you?
Why?
That new torts professor. He says that next to him, Kingsfield's a pussycat.
Well, he'll just have to get used to him.
That's all.
First years are hard years, much more than we know. With good friends to love us, we'll feel every blow. Stay open to all things, and one day we'll all say, hey, look, we've come through the first year.